Do you have a process that you bring your clients through every single time that a new client comes in? This is called your onboarding process, and it's incredibly important to have one. Why? Because it starts your clients off with confidence that they made the right choice in hiring you. So today I'm going to be sharing with you my perfect streamlined onboarding process. You're absolutely going to love it. If you haven't met me yet, hi, I'm Abbey Ashley. I'm the founder of the Virtual Savvy, and we teach people how to start their own at-home business through virtual assistants. I've trained over 3,000 people to start their own virtual assistant businesses, and throughout that process, I've learned how incredibly important a good onboarding process is. So in this video, I'm going to break down how you can onboard your clients to make sure they have confidence in starting their work with you. I'm going to be completely honest. When I first started my business, every time I would jump on a discovery call, I would get this sick feeling in my stomach. This nervousness would just absolutely take over, and I literally felt like I was going to throw up every single time. Now, the more I did it, the more that I got out there and had more discovery calls, the more that I onboarded new clients, it became more comfortable. But I really think the key thing that helped me was having a process, having a system. A system helps fight overwhelm. And so that's what we're giving you today, is a system. Do you already have an onboarding system? Let me know, yes or no, in the comments. Now, what's so important with your onboarding system is that it's repeatable. It's something that you do every single time you sign on a new client. The best way to keep track of this is with a checklist, some kind of a system, a form that you have for yourself. It's an internal checklist that you know, these are the different steps that I need to bring my new client through in order to onboard them as my new client. Now, if you are a virtual assistant or you have a service-based freelancing business, these are some of the main things that you need to have inside of that checklist. First, before you begin working with a new client, you'll want to go through a discovery call process. A discovery call is simply a way for the two of you to decide if you're going to work well together. The discovery call is just as much for you to see if you want to work with this client as it is for the client to see if they want to work for you. So it's not just an audition. Remember, you're also vetting if this person's going to be a good fit for you. In that discovery call process, the best way, in my opinion, to go about it is to have a list of questions. Go ahead and pre-plan what are the things you want to know about their business. Give them an opportunity to talk about them, talk about why they have their business, talk about what's important to them in their business, and some of the tasks that they're hoping to get done by your services. Now, you'll want to talk about yourself a little bit in that discovery call. How do you work? What are your processes? Again, it's good to know these things ahead of time so you can communicate them with your new client. Then you want to just say, this is how I work, and you talk to them about the next steps that we're going to talk about right here. Finally, you'll say, hey, I'm going to send over a contract, and in that contract, we'll explain a little bit more in detail how we'll work together. So this leads us to step number 2, email follow-up. After that discovery call is over, you want to follow up with whatever you promised you would follow up with. Most likely, it's going to be your contract, potentially an invoice as well if you're going to be accepting payment upfront, which I totally recommend. So in that email, you want to really recap what you guys talked about. Go ahead and share some of the things that you're really excited about too in working with this new client. What is it that you are pumped about in their business? Share that in this email, and then give them the practical step. Hey, here is my contract, here's the invoice. I'd love to receive this back by blank, right? Maybe this Friday, this coming Monday, so we can get started working together right away. Go ahead and send that recap email with the contract, and the invoice would be your second step. Let me just give you a little bonus tip here as well. If you can get the contract signed and that invoice paid in the discovery call, you can totally do both of these, step 1 and step 2, at the same time. Now, it doesn't always feel like the right vibe to do that, but if somebody is just really anxious, is like, yes, I'm all in, let's do this thing, there's no reason why you can't send them the contract and the invoice right away, and then you can start working together instantly. All right, so you've done the discovery call, you've done that follow-up email with the contract and the invoice. Once everything is signed and ready, what do you do next? We like to call this the kickoff call. I recommend getting your client scheduled for another call where you're going to gather all sorts of information from them. You're going to communicate in this call how you'll work together. How is the best way to communicate with you? Do you want to have a Slack channel? Do you want to go back and forth via Voxer? There's a lot of different options with how you'll communicate. Also make it really clear in this call how long projects are expected to take. Do you have a 24-hour turnaround time for emails? What are the specifics in working with you that your client needs to know about? Cover that inside of this kickoff call, or just remind them of it if it's already something you discussed in that discovery call. This is also a great opportunity to grab any passwords from your clients or to set up a password sharing system like LastPass or Dashlane. This is a great time to answer any questions that maybe didn't get answered inside of your discovery call on how the two of you are going to communicate and work best together. We cover this inside of the kickoff call. As you can see, this 3-step process is fairly simple, but the best way to go about it is to have these documents and your procedures ready ahead of time. So go ahead and walk yourself through the process. If somebody wanted to work with me, what would I want to have prepared? What are the questions I would want to ask them on a discovery call? What are the questions I think they're going to ask me? Do you already have a contract? Is it already mostly filled out for this new client? Do you have a system for how to walk them through a kickoff call? How are you going to communicate with them and share how you would like to work? Walk through the steps yourself as if you have already signed a new client to make sure that you are prepared when that time comes. Now, there are 2 systems that we love here at the Virtual Savvy that you can use to help automate this whole system. It'll help you really book those discovery calls. It'll help you with signing contracts, with really onboarding your clients with ease. Those 2 systems are Dubsado and Honeybook. We love both of them. We recommend them, and we will link to them below. Did you enjoy this video? Let me know in the comments below. And hey, if you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe to my channel here on YouTube. I am releasing new content all the time on how to grow, streamline, automate your freelance or virtual assistant business. And I release videos almost every single week. So if you click the bell, you'll also be notified every time I do release a new video. And hey, want to connect with over 60,000 other virtual assistants? Head on over to Facebook and check out our VA Savvies community. It's the most helpful VA community on the planet. You're absolutely going to love it. You can check it out at thevirtualsavvy.com/community. And hey, you know what we do here over at the Virtual Savvy? We've been talking about onboarding, so all aboard. We're going to beatbox it out.